Picture this. Somewhere high on Angola's remote plateau, colossal elephants, creatures so large that local trackers whisper about them as if they were spirits, might still roam completely unseen by modern science. Sounds unbelievable, right? Yet that is precisely the rousing mystery that legendary filmmaker Werner Herzog tackles in his latest documentary, Ghost Elephants. But here's where it gets controversial. Herzog follows South African conservation biologist Dr. Steve Boys, a man gripped by the tantalizing possibility that an undiscovered megaspecies, nicknamed ghost elephants, is hiding beyond the reach of satellite images and tourist lenses. Boys' fascination was sparked years ago by reports from Kalahari bush trackers in neighboring Namibia, people whose deep, almost preternatural knowledge of wildlife rarely appears in academic journals, yet routinely guides seasoned scientists in the field. Their stories converged on one electrifying hypothesis. These mythical giants could be distant kin to the Fénykövi elephant, the record-breaking specimen that greets visitors at Washington, D.C.'s Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History. Shot in 1955, that animal still dwarfs every other mounted elephant on Earth. Determined to probe the myth, Boys assembles a small expedition team. Think less Indiana Jones, more high-stakes field research. Before setting foot in the bush, they respectfully request the blessing of a local tribal king, a ritual Herzog's camera treats with understated reverence rather than mockery. Only then do they venture into Angola's vast grasslands, lugging genetic sampling kits and an optimism bordering on the cinematic. A single strand of hair or sliver of dung, once cross-checked against Smithsonian DNA archives, could rewrite the story of elephant evolution. Jurassic Park parallels are hard to ignore, though these scientists aim to protect, not resurrect, their giants. And this is the part most people miss. Unlike Herzog's famously tragic Grizzly Man, whose central characters spiraled into self-destruction, Ghost Elephants chronicles a level-headed, irony-free quest that, spoiler alert, yields a tentative scientific victory. The atmosphere remains luscious and strangely intimate. Herzog's unmistakable gravelly narration lingers on small, sensory details. An Angolan villager herding chickens at daybreak, the rhythmic footfalls of trackers on dry earth, the electric hush that falls over camp whenever fresh tracks appear. In a single breath, he'll confess, "I know I shouldn't romanticize him," only to do exactly that, one of many Herzogian quirks longtime fans will recognize. Could this be another case of the great white savior? Whens in wildlife filmmaking, Herzog never explicitly addresses the criticism, perhaps because the tension is already plain to see. Some viewers may cheer Boys' dedication to conservation. Others will question the optics of Western scientists combing through former colonial landscapes in search of trophies, genetic or otherwise. It's fertile ground for debate, and the film refuses easy answers. By the closing frames, Ghost Elephants emerges as a warm, thought-provoking portrait of obsession, wonder, and the still unmapped corners of our planet. Herzog reminds us that the world remains full of secrets, if only we are bold enough to look. Now, over to you. Do you believe quests like Boys's are vital for conservation, or do they risk repeating old patterns of exploitation? Should Western museums continue to display animals collected under dubious historical circumstances? Make your case, agreement or outrage, in the comments below.